Hey y'all, LJ here. Welcome back to Chase Forge. Being that tech guy, I've built so many computers over the last years, including the last one I just built, which was an under $850 gaming PC that I built for Eddie. Because many of you guys asked, I'm doing this quick follow-up video on the performance. Let's go. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I hope that you guys are enjoying the content that I make for you guys, and consider joining down below. If you haven't seen the under 850 PC, you can watch it here. No, really, go. This video won't make much sense unless you watch that. And I do like to add humor to most of my videos, so stay all the way till the end. That PC is now long gone, and I'm sure many hours of gaming has been put on it. I did do some benchmarking on it before I sent it off to Eddie, but I didn't want to fill that video with so much info. Most of the footage was captured with my Elgato HD 60 Plus, except for when it didn't want to play nice with one of the monitors when I was playing Fortnite. I was under a time crunch to get that computer to him as soon as possible, so here's information I was able to get. While idle in a room that was 22 degrees Celsius or about 71 degrees Fahrenheit, it stayed pretty chill for about 15 minutes and only increased to about 24 Celsius, 75 degrees in Fahrenheit. Under load while playing many of the games, it only went up to a maximum of 28°C, about 82 degrees Fahrenheit. I left it mostly on stock settings, except for the memory, which I did increase to 3200 megahertz. The first benchmark that I ran was 3D Mark Time Spy. This PC scored an overall score of 6,042. It finished with a GPU score of 5950 and a CPU score of 6628. One of the games that I know has kept me up way longer than I intended is Civilization VI, with the one more turn mentality that never really ends. I do like using this game because it has two different benchmarks, one that will really tax the graphics card and one that will tax the CPU. First, the graphics. It was able to consistently stay over 60 frames. But this being a turn-based game, higher frames are for naught. And most of the CPU intensive part of the game is the AI's turn. Which we can see here that it averaged about 8 seconds after 5 passes. I then ran Red Dead Redemption 2, which does have a built-in benchmark. I ran it with these settings on screen at 1080p with a mix of ultra, high, and medium settings. It ran fairly smooth with an average frame rate of almost 65 and a minimum of 62 frames. As you can see from the information, while using Afterburner, it showed that it taxed mostly the GPU and only about half of the CPU's power. While Rocket League isn't a very taxing game and does not have a bench tool, it's still very nice to test it. Don't mind the fact that I'm playing with a keyboard and mouse. Here on the screen are the settings that it was set to. It stayed consistent at 85 frames per second. That's where I had it set to max. While I don't have any footage, I did go back and unlock the max frames per second limiter, which then saw it go to 120 plus frames per second. Because he specifically told me he would be playing Fortnite, I ran that as well. I never really got into this game. I don't really enjoy the building aspect of it, but I am a very avid shooter game player. Thus the 7th place I got in a game I don't play. As you can see from on screen, the information given to us by Afterburner, it ran the game really smoothly. I didn't see any ghosting or artifacting, and it actually felt really smooth to me. This is actually my first testing and probably the worst I have ever done. I promise I will work on having a much more concrete methodology for testing PCs going forward, as I'm sure we have many more computers to build here together, including a PC made from parts that I had on my editing rig when it was version 4 before its last upgrades to version 5. This PC will probably have an owner by Thanksgiving, and I'm sure they'll be saying, "Badad, badad, badad, that's all, folks." Like always, stay healthy, stay safe, Elche out. Why would anybody want to shoot and build at the same time? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I might just be too old for it to appeal to me, but Joyner Lucas has a song specifically about this very thing.